is up, everybody? It is your boy Jay. It is Friday, September 21st, 2018. I didn't film anything today. I don't know why I didn't film anything. I didn't film anything today, and now it's the end of Vlog Talk. So I actually ended up going to 3 meetings today. Today was just not a good day. Today was one of my bad days. So that's why I went to 3 meetings. So let's go in order and we'll talk about my day and let's see if it makes sense. Note to self, just remember how you felt this day, Jay, and try not to feel this way again, because you know today was not a good day. So I started my meeting today at my home base fellowship at 9 o'clock this morning, and today we had a speaker and we talked about step 1, which is very important, like I've said before. Some things that I got from the meeting was an alcoholic is someone who has lost control of drinking, which should be common sense, right? Something that someone said that really caught me was that Alcoholics Anonymous is the most fundamental thing and not the most important thing in life. Life is the most important thing, and AA gives us the fundamentals to learn how to live life in sobriety and without alcohol and without your ego taking over. Another thing that someone else said was that prayer takes practice. As alcoholics, we carry a lot of shame, and it took this person a lot of times to come to meetings and to admit that they are alcoholic. And as long as this person prayed, that was kind of their way of releasing and becoming free. And I thought that was kind of cool. That's something I'm still working on, which is my higher power and trying to trust in the plan and try not to sweat the small things. I think that's one of the name of my vlogs in my first chapter. Okay, so that was how I started my day, and I thought I ended my day well, or I thought I ended that session well, and then I was on my way to work. I don't want to go into detail about what happened at work, but let's just say there were a bunch of things that happened and it just got me pissed off to the point where I just left. And luckily in my position I'm able to do that. I can leave whenever I want, and I had a moment of character defect which put me in predicament. And I knew I had to get out of the situation, and I couldn't just breathe or meditate or say the serenity prayer. I had to go. I had to just be out of the environment and just leave. It's been happening to me a lot lately, and it's a character defect that I really need to work on, but you know, trying to break old habits is a tough thing, and I can't say that I'm the only one that has to deal with multiple problems, but this is all new to me, and although I've been sober for 52 days now, let me just double check, 52 days, I would have to say that being sober is the easiest part of this. Being sober and not having to drink is the easiest part of going through my sobriety and my alcoholism. So luckily for me, there was a church down the street from my office, and I was able to make it to a meeting. And some things that I highlighted in the meeting, which was a reading from the big book for alcoholics. which is kind of weird because the first paragraph that was read today said, "Nothing is right. Finances are in bad shape. I must find a way to make some money. The family seems to think of nothing but spending. People annoy me. Why has God left me? I cannot understand. I will not be that way." And it talks about how someone. This is a story from the book, and it talks about how someone relapsed and decided to take a drink and go to the liquor store and go back to their old ways, and that wasn't what I wanted to do. I wanted to go to this meeting to try to have some spiritual awakening or some notes to feel better. And noticing that was the first passage to be read, that was kind of like, yeah, I agree. Nothing is right. People annoy me. And I felt like today God has left me. But by the end of the meeting, after hearing everyone talk, someone said that the first time that they went to an AA meeting, they felt like the statue Atlas. If you're not familiar with Atlas, I'll probably put a picture. Atlas is this, I believe, Greek or some type of statue that was holding the world on his shoulders. And once this person came to AA and said, "My name is so and so, and I'm an alcoholic," he immediately felt like release and felt like all of a sudden the weight of the world was off his shoulders. And I can say that is how I felt in the beginning too, when I first went to my AA meeting sober. And this is after my relapse. And it felt good for a long time. And I have a sponsor that I talk to daily. I meet up with him weekly. We see each other at least 3 or 4 times a week, either at a meeting or one-on-one. But being sober doesn't get rid of your character defects. So my quick wit to react to something got the best of me today. And I wasn't able to pause, think, meditate, pray before I reacted, and I just reacted. And that's why I went to my second meeting. And I went home and I took a nap, and I called one of my good friends, and I spoke with him, and trying to evaluate what happened today and things like that. And I decided that I needed to go to another meeting just because I was going insane in my brain and not thinking the best thoughts. I wasn't gonna have a drink or anything like that. I just wasn't being of sound mind or being happy or thankful. I was holding a lot of resentment inside. So I went to a third meeting at a different location, still in my neighborhood. And what was cool is that my sponsor was there. So there was a familiar face as well as a bunch of familiar faces there. And it was a step meeting, so we talked about step 4. And what's cool about this meeting is that we read the whole chapter, and then one by one we go through our experience with the reading and how we felt about it. And some passage that really caught my eye today was, "But in Alcoholics Anonymous, we slowly learned that something had to be done with our vengeful resentment, self-pity, and unwarranted pride. We had to see that every time we played the big shot, we turned people against us. We had to see that when we harbored grudges and planned revenge for such defeats, we were really beating ourselves with the club of anger that we intended to use on others. We learned that if we were seriously disturbed, our first need was to quiet the disturbance, regardless of who or what we thought caused it." Oh, so that's what I wanted to share during the discussion of this last meeting that I went to today, and it just goes back to there are a lot of things that I need to change in my life, not only with my sobriety, but in the way that I act, the way that I react, my character defects, and it's a learning process and something that I cannot rush. And I feel that at this point of time, I need to take a break. Not from vlogging. I'm still gonna vlog this because I want to remember this feeling. I want to remember this day. But again, luckily I have the capability of deciding when to work. So I'm taking off for the weekend, and I'm just going to have some me time, and hopefully that will make me feel better, and I can meditate and pray a little bit more about what trajectory I need to take in life. And again, I am trusting in the higher powers plan, and maybe this is part of the plan. This is something that I have to go through and I have to think through, and sometimes parts of the plan are not going to be easy, and sometimes they're going to be rough. It's going to be tough, and you have to figure it out. I'm not a kid anymore. I'm not a helpless person or a baby, and I have to man up, and I have to realize that even though I'm sober, I still have character defects. Even though I am sober, I still have character defects. I still am flawed, and I still need to work on it. So, with that said, let me just say it's okay to be flawed, and it's okay to have character defects. But until you are able to realize that and try to change it, you're always going to be the same person. And you're going to be more likely to hold resentments and to want to revert back to having a drink. And I know that is not in my plan. I am not going to have a drink because of this. I've worked too hard to be 52 days sober. And I need to learn how to deal with stress. So, with that said, let's end the vlog the way we usually do. Remember to be confident, be honest, be humble, and more than anything else,